morning. Welcome to the Fan Box with Joey B. I'm your host, Joey B. Happy Championship Sunday. Today, the AFC Championship, the NFC Championship. Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning 17. Possibly the last time these two legendary quarterbacks will play each other. Then in the NFC Championship, for the first time ever, we got two Heisman winning quarterbacks facing off from the postseason. That's what today's show is going to be about, is how those teams did last week to get to the positions they are now, what each team needs to do to win, who I think is going to win, and who's going to win, who I think will do better off in the Super Bowl. But first we're going to start off with some top stories of this week in all sports around the world. Let's go ahead and start out with what happened earlier this week. Golden State versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. I was just as excited as much as you were. Oh, two elite teams. It's going to be a battle. You know, they had a great game on Christmas Day. Well, Golden State blew out LeBron James, the Cleveland Cavaliers, by 34 points. Embarrassing. Wow. 2 games later, the Cleveland Cavaliers decide to fire their head coach David Blatt out of nowhere. Stunned the sports world. You know, and I agree with Coach Carlisle for the Dallas Mavericks when he said it is embarrassing for the league that happened. That's just bizarre. And then they hired their assistant coach Tyronn Lue to be the head coach, and his debut as head coach was last night versus the Chicago Bulls. The Cleveland Cavaliers lost 96-83, even with LeBron James just 1 rebound away from his first triple-double of the season. Come on, Tyronn Lue, step it up, man. You got to fix it. They fired David Blatt after winning 2 games after losing to Golden State. And, well, y'all 30-11 or something like that, and now 30-12. You better change it up or you lose your job, too. Golden State's head coach Steve Kerr has missed most of the season so far due to back surgery he had, I think, in the offseason. Earlier this week, he rejoined his team on the bench, and he looked as spry as ever. Welcome back to the bench, Coach Kerr. 10 years ago to this week, the Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant, drops 81 facing off against the Toronto Raptors. And, you know, in the first half, it looked like a regular game. You know, Lakers were losing. Jack Nicholson wasn't even on the bench in LA when this happened. This was 2 mediocre teams going at it. You know, and people were leaving because the Raptors were winning. It looked like it was game over. And then all of a sudden, Black Mamba got that ice in his veins, man, and he just went off. It was said after when he was in the 70s that they wouldn't take him out, and the stats guy's like, no, you can't. Something you can't do. He's at 70-something. You know, he just broke the Lakers record. Let him keep going. Because earlier in that same season, when they were facing the really good Mavericks team, Kobe Bryant was at, I think, 63, and he's like, no, I'm good. When they asked him if he wanted to keep playing, he said, no, I'm good. I'm going to save it for later. Save it for later? That doesn't happen. Dropping 63 doesn't happen. How do you think you're going to get more than that? Well, he's Kobe Bryant, that's why. And he did. He dropped 81. That's just fantastic. And that night on SportsCenter, the man to call the replay was one of my biggest idols in the sports analyst world, Stuart Scott. You know, rest in peace, my brother. But yeah, fantastic job. Let's move on to a little bit of football. Marshawn Lynch. This year he was injured. I think he missed like 10 games. First game of the postseason. He came and played against the Cardinals last week. Did a decent job. Obviously didn't get the job. I mean, not against Cardinals, the Panthers. Couldn't get the job done. According to Seattle's GM, he's leaning towards retirement. Retirement? No. Marshawn Lynch does not need to retire. This man is beast mode. He's got plenty of fuel to keep going. Maybe he needs to leave Seattle. Go somewhere else. Go to a new system. Somewhere that he can get along with people. Because I think there might be a problem with the locker room. Maybe with the coaching. Maybe he doesn't get along with the front office. He's a little bit of a drama queen, obviously, as we all know. I'm here. You know I'm here. But according to his own mother, though, that her boy ain't done playing football. And I believe it. Marshawn Lynch is not done playing football. That man is ready to crack some more heads, get you that first down when it's 3rd and short, and ready to bust those big runs, randomly when he needs it, The Los Angeles Clippers send Josh Smith back to the Houston Rockets. Josh Smith making the Rockets look like a good team again. This year everybody had them doing pretty well. They've been pretty mediocre. Well, Josh Smith's first game back, they won, and he was looking great. The team had great chemistry to me. Might be working out for Houston. They might be able to make a run for it and get into the playoffs on the western side. We got some baseball news. Yoenis Cespedes signed a 3-year, $70 million deal with the New York Mets. The outfielder is guaranteed $27.5 million his first year. Oh my gosh. And then after his first year, he has the option to opt out, but there is a no trade clause, so he cannot be traded. Today was for America, today, it was the Australian Tennis Open. And by what I got here, Federer cruised right into the quarterfinal, of course. I actually think Federer is going to win it all because right now he's just on fire. As you know, Masters are coming up. They're going to be in Augusta, Georgia, as usual. I got Jordan Spieth winning it all. The young gun from the University of Texas. Hook 'em. Alright, now let's get into Championship Sunday. We're going to start off with the matchup in the AFC. Tom Brady, 4-time Super Bowl winner. Peyton Manning, 1-time Super Bowl winner. To me, the amount of Super Bowls you have does not measure your eliteness of how great of a quarterback you are. I think Peyton Manning is just as legendary and just as good as Tom Brady is. Just because Tom Brady's got 3 more. My perfect example is Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl with 2000 Ravens. Dan Marino has no Super Bowls. You're telling me Trent Dilfer is a better quarterback because he has a Super Bowl ring? No. Trent Dilfer had arguably one of the best defenses in NFL history. Trent Dilfer is not a terrible quarterback. He was a mediocre quarterback. The Pats and the Broncos are both 12-4 this season. The Patriots seem to fall off at the end of the season, losing 4 out of the last 6. And they played the Chiefs last week, and honestly, I picked the Chiefs to win. If there was going to be a team that was going to beat them, for sure, I thought it was going to be the Kansas City Chiefs because they were on fire. 11-game winning streak, and they just blew out the Texans in Houston. And their defense is amazing. Now, the Patriots, they got ahead, they stayed ahead. And then the Chiefs played the catch-up game. The final score ended up being 27-20. Now, there were several dropped interceptions by the Chiefs. I think it was like 2 or 3. That even just one of those would have changed the outcome of that game. And then Andy Reid and his clock management. This man's been a head coach forever. He's been in the NFC Championship more than any head coach in the past 10, 15 years. That's ridiculous. How he acted. You're down. You're trying to hurry up, score, and get the ball back and win. You're down by 2 touchdowns. With under 2 minutes left, you haven't even scored the first touchdown. And you're huddling up on the 4-yard line. What are you doing? Poor clock management. If you had better clock management, even with those dropped interceptions, I think the Chiefs could have won. They should have won. But, it is what it is. And now, everybody in the sports world is super excited for Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning. That's fantastic. Thing is, Tom Brady is 2-6 when playing in Denver. And his record is 0-2 when playing in Denver in the postseason. Maybe it's Maybe it's because of the altitude. Maybe it's because of the cold. Weather's a lot different in Colorado than it is in Foxborough. I'm not sure, but though that might come in Peyton Manning's favor. You never know. Now let's talk about the Broncos game last week. They played the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers should have been there in the first place. Should have been Cincinnati Bengals, but that's a whole other story. The Broncos' offense was just terrible. Terrible. They were getting great field position, at their own 40, at their opponent's 40, at the 50. And all they came up with was, 6 field goals? The whole game? Thank goodness their defense was stopping Big Ben. Thank goodness. Finally, they got a touchdown, a late touchdown to take the lead, and got a 2-point conversion to, put the game out of reach for the Steelers. You got to play better than that, Peyton, against, the New England Patriots. If the Broncos played they played last week, not even going to be a game. Not even going to be a game. Now, for today's game, I want the Denver Broncos to win because I want Peyton Manning to move on to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, go out on top. Or at least go to the Super Bowl and then retire after win or lose. Because he can say the last game he ever played in the NFL was taking his team to the Super Bowl. And I think a man of his stature in the league deserves that. But as a fan of football and knowledgeable of football, I know it's probably not going to happen. Tom Brady, he's on fire in the playoffs. He's great in the playoffs. He's clutch in the fourth quarter. Maybe the whole 2-6 in Denver thing might kick in again and he'll get that 7th loss. Who knows? And actually, fun fact, Peyton Manning is 2-1 versus Tom Brady in the AFC Championship. The only one time Peyton Manning lost to Tom Brady was back in 2003. Now, God, they were 2 totally different quarterbacks back then. But, other than that, Peyton Manning's got a 2-game winning streak in the AFC Championship versus Tom Brady. Maybe, there's something about the AFC Championship that gets Peyton Manning fired up versus Tom Brady. I hope so. I really do. But ultimately, I think the Patriots win by 10. All right, let's move on to the NFC Championship. Carolina Panthers versus the Arizona Cardinals. 15-1 Carolina Panthers versus 13-3 Arizona Cardinals. Now, I think the Arizona Cardinals are the better team, hands down. I think they have more consistency all around the ball. They finish games. Their Carson Palmer, what a freaking cannon he's got. It's not even just, how far he throws it. It's the accuracy in which he throws it. It is amazing. Dude, his first touchdown pass when his rookie year was a 60-yard bomb to Chad Ochocinco, and it was just dead on in the basket. And he's got Larry Fitzgerald, Michael Floyd. He's got a great core of wide receivers. Carolina, yeah, they got Josh Norman. They got a pretty great defense, good pass rush. You got Lucci in the with the linebackers. Giving them the rush, but honestly, Carson Palmer, he knows how to move around the pocket. He's got great protection. But let's talk about last week. Cardinals versus the Packers. Wow, what a game. What a freaking game. Wow. Honestly, Carson Palmer had 2 interceptions. He had a lot of drop passes. A lot of just terrible throws. Some that could have been, others that could have been interceptions that weren't. Honestly, the Cardinals got lucky they won last week. I picked the Cardinals to win because I thought they were going to play a lot better, and Green Bay is just really inconsistent this year. But just Carson Palmer just needs to calm down, do him, and not throw his interceptions. Yeah, I just talked about how accurate it was with his deep arm, but It's the interceptions weren't on the deep balls. So I think maybe one was, but and they ended up having a wild finish. They took the lead, and Aaron freaking Rodgers, scrambling around the back of his own end zone, 60-yard bomb to Janis. 3 plays later, another bomb. Janis jumps up between 2 defenders, touchdown. Aaron Rodgers has another Hail Mary miracle. They go into OT. You got the flop of the coin toss. Arizona gets the ball first after they re-toss it, and the coin actually flips. And Larry Fitzgerald, man. I understand the play was being belonged and everything. Things were breaking up in the secondary because, you got Carson Palmer moving around, spinning off the back of his own lineman. Good protection. Also, great footwork by Carson Palmer. And then he just throws it across his body on the opposite side of the field to an open Larry Fitzgerald. I don't care how the play's going. You don't leave Larry Fitzgerald wide open. Come on now. Somebody had to see number 11 standing over there by himself. No. And then this man just jukes, jives, stiff arms through the whole defense. I thought he was about to barrel in the touchdown. Game was going to be over. They got brought down to the 4-yard line. And they have an incomplete pass. Then, I think it was a remarkable play, the shovel pass to Larry Fitzgerald. No one's seen that coming. You don't expect Larry Fitzgerald to come up like that, but they did, and it was great. And yeah, and the Cardinals got there. I would love to see the Cardinals go to the Super Bowl. I think Larry Fitzgerald deserves a ring. He really does. So I hope he gets there. But now we got the NFC South champions and the Carolina Panthers. Great start of the game. Great start. I'm not, Seattle. I think they're talked up too much. I think Richard Sherman. I think he can be ignorant at times. I'm not a fan. I used to be a fan of his because of his cockiness, but his cockiness is turning to him being arrogant. I think Russell Wilson is a good quarterback. He's consistent, but I think everybody pumps him up to be way better than he is. I think the majority of the Seattle Seahawks fans are bandwagon fans. So, I'm not a huge fan of the Seattle Seahawks. So I wanted to watch them lose. And I loved watching what happened in the first half. I really did. Cam Newton and the defense just destroying them. It's 31-0 halftime. Oh my gosh. Game is over. But in my opinion, you're not trying to protect your lead. This is the playoffs. You're not trying to protect your lead. You're trying to stack on. Which Coach Rivera said at halftime. That's what they were going to do. They were going to protect what they had. They were going to keep going like the game 0-0. It's not what it looked like. Cam Newton fell apart. And he's done it all season. They'll get up big on it. They'll get up big on a team. That team will catch back up. Heck, with the freaking New York Giants, they caught back up and they went into freaking overtime. Come on. When your team is the best, you got to keep proving you're the best all 4 quarters. Not for the first 2, Cam. You're Superman. You're dabbing on them. You got to be doing that the whole game. You can't rely on your defense to stop them when you're going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. You gotta stay consistent the whole game. If you're getting tired, don't freaking do what you do in the first half. Bring it down. The Panthers have done this all year. Yeah, some games, they're just blowing them out with big wins. But against good teams, they're in close games, they're barely winning. And I don't think that against this Cardinals team, the best team around the ball, offense and defense, in my opinion, you're not gonna be able to do that. Their defense is too good to slack off in the fourth quarter. Carson Palmer and Larry Fitzgerald, they're not going to slack off in the fourth quarter. You cannot slack off in the fourth quarter, Cam Newton. You can't do it. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep being Superman. I would love to see either team go. The Carolina Panthers going from 7-9 last year to 15-1 this year. Cam Newton's a great guy. I love what he's doing with the fans, giving the footballs to the kids. I love it. I really do. And I love his cockiness on the field. I love his character. I love a player like that. Thing is, I don't think the Carolina Panthers are going to win. I really don't. It's either going to be really close and the Cardinals win, or it's going to be what we don't expect and a tiny bit of a blowout by 17. I'm not for sure exactly which, but it's going to be either or, and either way, I think Arizona Cardinals are going to win this game. Sad to say, but that's what's going to happen. Well, that's it. That's all we got for today. Actually, just for now, I'm going to do another quick, shorter show right after the second game today. I'm going to talk about the two games, and then I'm going to give you my Super Bowl prediction. But what I want to do at the end of every show, well, at least once a week, is a shout out to an up-and-coming star. And I'm going to do that with Darius Imperial. I'm about to show you a highlight play of Darius. And if you have kids growing up, I'll take from toddlers to high school players. Send me videos, and I'll share it at the end, and it'll be our up-and-coming star of the week. So here's Darius. Everyone give it up for Darius Imperial. Wow, what a kid. He is 7 years old with that much skill. That's amazing. That is amazing. I'm probably going to be talking about Darius Imperial one day in the NBA or some kind of sport. The kid is just athletic, and that's amazing. So if you have a kid playing sports, send me the videos, get in contact with me. We'll figure out a way to get it, and I'll add it to my next show. All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you right after the NFC Championship game. Enjoy watching football today, folks. This is Joey B with the Fan Box with Joey B.